just sat there in a river of cold ice water and just took a bath.
Hello there. I'll keep this quick. He does enough talking for both of us. You've watched this entire journey through me. I'm the camera. And that footage you just saw, the rocks, the cold water, the part where everything went black, that was me going under. Well, I just wanted to hop in here, present day, from the studio and put your mind at ease. I'm okay, really, I am. Working flawlessly, hanging out and working right here on his desk. Almost as good as new. What actually happened out there is a longer story, and it's his to tell, not mine. He'll get to it. Of course he will. He always does, doesn't he? Usually right after he apologizes for rambling, that is. I just didn't want you worrying about me for the next 20 minutes. I'm a professional. I've been through things. And let's just say I've seen the inside of a bag of rice. It's not pretty. Well, that is all I've got for now. Back to the story.
Breakfast of Champions. Good morning. I find myself here, well, hunched over because the tripod's not tall enough. I'm about to disembark and leave my little cabin here. I'm staying here in the New River Gorge area. It's a campground's called, or a facility, a grounds called, what is it now? Adventures on the Gorge. And I took a really quick drone flight this morning. It's up a little bit past sunrise. Again, I'm the only person here. I had a neighbor here last night. I think they've gone. And anyway, we're starting the day here. It's brisk. It's cold. We have a crow hanging out in the background. I'm about to pack up my stuff and get out of here and hit the road. The plan for today, I'm doing two things. I'm eventually driving up to northern Ohio somewhere to get close to my brother's, he lives in Holly, Michigan. And that's going to be our next episode, just a sneak peek. We're going to do a little ice fishing. This should be good. So, anyway, I want to try to get up fairly close to his place. It's supposed to be... I didn't know the crows are going to be out this morning. Anyway, I want to get close to his place because it's supposed to snow a lot first thing in the morning. So, I don't want to be driving too much in the snow. It's a beautiful day today. I'm going to drive all the way up through West Virginia. Maybe go to Chagrin Falls in Ohio and then cut over. And at the same time, I'm going to be doing another video, and that is the sounds of travel. So, never done two videos in one day. We'll see how this turns out. I've been setting up some shots and getting some sounds here this morning. The crows weren't a part of that, though. So I've never been known for doing reviews of any kind on this channel. it'd be fun to do that. Actually, one day be hired to do some sort of a sponsored video, create some nice photography for a place like this, some drone shots. This is essentially a commercial, but more for social. So this is typical of the unit. I'm in Kmore 6B down the hill, but this is 7B up the hill. You can see they have a couple of picnic tables, fire pits for grilling or whatever. These are some typical other units over here. Again, I don't need to repeat myself, but I'm the only person here in the entire compound, which is really quite bizarre. So I would highly recommend staying here if you're going to be visiting the New River Gorge National Park area. Again, I flew my drone here because I'm not really technically in the park. I don't know if I would want to fly it here. Let me turn the camera around. Hey, it's me. I don't know if I would want to fly my drone here if there was a bunch of people here, because you'd be that annoying person. But then again, it's a lot louder here in the cool, crisp air. I think maybe in the fall with the leaves, it would dampen the sound a bit. This is a place, as you can see from this flight, a perfect place for you to get the color. And you could see the bridge from here. And again, we're not technically in the park. As long as you don't take off from the national park, you're fine. Unless they don't allow you to fly them in this compound, which I didn't see anything on the literature. This was my coffee view and pizza breakfast view. You can hear the water down there. It's quite a bit far away, unless it's the wind blowing through the trees. Anyway, we got the log cabin look going on here. Let me adjust the ND, hold on. So anyway, here's the deal. You walk in the front door. To the right, you have this little nook here. You can hang your coats up, probably put your luggage. It may seem like a wasted piece of space, but not really if you have stuff to store. Anyway, and then this is the room. Get a little bench here. Got a fridge. Oh, I got to plug the fridge back in. I unplugged the fridge because I was recording some videos and it's making too much noise. Got a TV and a microwave, coffee maker. These units here have a comfortable shower. That's the quick tour. All right, again, so I have places to go, things to see, people to see, however that phrase goes. It's time to get out of here. I got to clean up. They do request that you throw away the trash and clean out the coffee pot and all that stuff. So got to do that, and then I'm going to hit the road. And I plan on seeing some more of West Virginia. Again, I want to drive through Clarksburg, Morgantown, Morgansville, whatever it is, on the north end. I wanted to go to Lewisburg and go up that side, but it'd be a long drive. Maybe on my next trip out here. All right, time to clean up. So at the beginning of this video, my camera told you I was going to tell you a little bit more about this story. Let's get into it. But first of all, arriving at this place, I guess the first real stop of the day, actually one of the only stops, was a place called Glade Creek Grist Mill in Babcock State Park. I mean, if you've ever seen a calendar photo of West Virginia, you've most certainly seen this setup here, this look, this scene. I'll share some images I generated with Midjourney or whatever. Certainly a different season, as you could see. I've said it so many times, I could imagine this place in the fall, but I was here when I was. Glade Creek Grist Mill was built in 1976, apparently, from parts of 3 old West Virginia mills. A working tribute to, I guess, the 500 plus grist mills that once dotted the state. And it's certainly, again, one of the most photographed spots in West Virginia. And by the way, I have no idea what a grist mill is. You'll have to Google that one. Again, the most photographed spot in the whole state. Keep that in mind because, well, what's about to happen to me here. It, of course, wasn't the most perfect time of the day for me to be photographing this, but it was along my way, shall we say, through West Virginia. And, you just make the best of things, I guess. So here's the story. I decided to walk out onto one of these rocks, and I had, well, what I thought were shoes that had good tread on them. And apparently there was it was like a thin layer of ice. And I was messing around with the camera, and this tripod that I brought with me, I had gloves on. I didn't really mount, it was my fault. I didn't securely mount the camera to the base plate. And it went to slip off. And as it did, I think I overreacted. Or I may have been grabbing a microphone to record something, or my phone. I can't remember what was going on. All I know is at some point this camera just fell right off of this thing, slammed into the rock, and immediately I'm thinking, oh God, I cracked the lens or whatever. But that wasn't the worst of it. It just kept rolling down this big boulder, and I kind of slipped. And before you know it, it was in the water.
That's where it happened.
And it really shook me up because I started thinking, well, first of all, I lost the neutral density filter. It rolled right off of that rock and right down into the drink. I'm lucky I didn't lose the camera. Again, I analyzed this scene and I realized I could have been downstream in a heartbeat in the cold water. I talk about really looking like an idiot.
Here. And God forbid now.
Anyway, so that's my story. And at this point, when I was leaving, I rambled to the camera a few more times. I think it was probably redundant. Here's a few clips of that.
Now, let's just say I'm really, really lucky.
Here's the harsh reality. I almost fell into the fucking water. The camera took a tumble. It hit the rock and rolled. It didn't drown. I'm not soaking wet. I didn't lose my phone. Let's hope the pictures are still in the memory card. Fuck. I think I ruined my camera. What an idiot. I'm lucky. It's just gear, I get it. Trying to protect all your stuff. I mean, I'm this traveling, moving orb of equipment that I'm gathering content for to create these stories and trying to collect things and checking in and out of hotels, trying not to forget stuff that in the blink of an eye you can lose something, be it a camera or memory cards or, to be honest with you, your life. When I went to jump down to get that camera, I put my foot on that other rock. And my foot like slipped. I was like, oh shit. Because I was going to jump out there and take some more pictures. And I could have slipped and gone to the right and been down in the drink. I'd look like an idiot down there. Gone over a couple of falls. Construction guys would have been like, what the fuck's this guy doing? My mother watches this, she's going to be like, what? I think I might have to postpone that sounds of photography and sounds of travel video that I started this morning. I almost had another camera out in my hand. In fact, I think I was reaching for it. I was going to record with a microphone and with the other camera, me putting the filter on, and the filter I no longer have. And that was going to be a setup for the sounds of photography and taking a shot. I can't remember what I was doing. It just, again, it's all a blur, but the sound of photography on that location was basically, ah! How can I step back into that mode? I can't. The camera's not working that I want to take shots with. I don't know. This day needs some saving. Not sure how. By the way, not only do I look stupid in this hat, I really feel stupid. Should do this as a sound of a segment for my sounds of photography. Pouring rice into a Ziploc bag. It's the sound of a Sony A7S III in a bag of rice. The sounds of travel.
System is going to bring snow to the north as well. All right, so our monster system is going to bring snow to the north as well. I think Michigan, Chicago, I think southern Ontario, up into upstate New York, New Hampshire, Vermont, and Maine. I think all of you guys are going to get a pretty decent snowstorm out of this. I think by Monday morning, most of the state of Michigan is going to have more than 10 inches of snow on the ground, especially north of Detroit. The same thing for upstate New York, north of Albany, and northern Maine. I think this is where we have the best chance of seeing the heaviest snow totals, and that'll transverse over into Quebec as well, of course.
Ryan Hall, y'all. I'll do a link below. It's the channel to listen to for weather. I don't know, it works for me. I like accuracy when it comes to weather.
I'm going to take my phone out and try to capture a little video of one because by the way, I've seen like 8 state police go by. That's it. Personal transport. Let me capture one on video. There it goes. The size of a little van. There's another one. It's like the size of a little van. It's on like a little rail, like a monorail system. There goes another one. I'm sorry I'm a geek, but that is the absolute cutest thing I've ever seen. Is these little cars in the rail system. They've got to be for this college. Anyway, apparently I'm riding along the river for a little while and then heading to I think I'm going to Chagrin Falls. In fact, let me look at the map. It's kind of warm out now. It's warm to be in this jacket.
I'll be the first one to admit that I'm really milking this episode. This is current day me coming in to tighten this thing up. I'm cutting out about 10 minutes worth of footage here. I mean, I'm just basically driving and just being silly, talking about random things. I keep talking about going to Chagrin Falls. As you'll see, I didn't go. I'm not going there. I gotta get back to West Virginia someday. I really do. I blazed through there. Didn't spend enough time there. But anyway, that's the deal. Just editing this thing and taking you from where I was to the next scene, wherever that is. God, this video's a mess.
So, first of all, I know some of these little excerpts, these entries, if you would, I'm sure they're quite boring. But again, let's go back and backtrack and identify what these videos are. They're a documentary of me hitting all 50 states in 1 year. 50 at 6.
Merge onto I-76 Westland.
They're not all epic stories. They're foundationally something that if I wanted to look back and see how did I do this and what are the things that I may have forgotten along the way. And plus a bunch of other stuff. First of all, I pulled off to the rest stop there, which was one that was fully packed with
amenities, you know, gas station, food, pamphlets. So I decided to go ahead and fill up the tank and grab some, just a little bit of food. I had a bowl of soup and a chocolate chip cookie. That guy's RV, he's got a fifth wheeler. You know, like I said, fueled up, used the restroom, grabbed about 2.5 pounds of pamphlets. Guy working there was looking at me like, looking for something in particular? Probably look like a madman grabbing all these. Again, I've already done Ohio. I'm not sure why I'm grabbing pamphlets, but he goes, where you heading? And I told him the whole story of me traveling and what I was doing. And I was actually already up here. I've already done Ohio, so I'm not sure why I'm grabbing pamphlets other than a future trip, which he did tell me about a couple places that I want to visit. And, well, one of those is going to be Chagrin Falls in the future sometime, because I told him I was thinking about going there and then driving, getting as close to Holly as I could, you know, around Ann Arbor or Toledo or Sandusky. And he's like, oh, yeah, because of the snow. But when I told him I was going to Chagrin Falls, he looked at me like, you're a madman. And my friend Frank would attest to that, but sometimes you have to reel yourself in. Had I made it to Chagrin Falls, it would have been dark, and unless I stayed there overnight, I'm not going to get a shot of the waterfall till the morning, and that puts me so much further away from where I want to be tomorrow afternoon. It looks like we're going to have snow in the morning, but it's not going to be rain and ice until, if we get that at all, it'll be late in the afternoon. So I've decided to just hightail it to Sandusky. And while I was eating my soup, I actually booked a room, and we're good to go. Why do I want to be by the water? Well, there's a slight chance we could see the aurora tonight. Slim chance. But I'm thinking, if I'm in this little town near the hotel, it looks kind of cute. Snow in the morning might be a great way to wake up, you know?
So I'm parked right here. Luckily, I don't have to drive that far. This is where I ate. But check this out. This goes down to the harbors down there. Look at that. It's like ice over the grass. Definitely ice over there. No thanks. This is Sandusky. Pretty cute. All right, so I just want to show you my room here. Just get back from dinner. So this is what you get in off season for a reasonable price, of course. All my camera gear. Check out this big living area here. I can go wide on this. There we go. Check out this kitchen, would you? Love the blue cabinets, actually. I want to photograph this before it gets all messed up. But I'm not going to use any of this now. I'll probably get some of this in the morning. I want to start dumping memory cards, organizing everything. But anyway, maybe I'll photograph this in the morning. But the bedroom suite. Very cool. Off-season discount. You gotta love it. Of course, I had to walk up a set of stairs and slip and slide on some ice on the way here. But I made it. This here is all I have left of that H&Y variable ND filter. It fell into the water today. I feel so bad. This is really crooked. Hold on. This is going to be the unveiling of the camera. That it was in the rice today. Figured I'd do it for all of us. Damn it. I left the batteries in the car. Back to the car. Stand by. Alright, I'm back. So, what do we got here? A couple of fresh batteries. We have a Sony Sony a7S III that has been in rice all day. Because, again, oh my god, there's rice. Oh no. Oh, I messed up big time. I got rice in the lens because there was rice in here, and instead of going like this and opening it and having it fall out, I zoomed it in and the rice fell down into the lens. But anyway, that's what it looks like. It's pretty, it smells like rice. Good thing you're happy about this, Mike. This area is pretty damp in here. I mean, when I say damp, I see water droplets. I was gonna open this up and fill it with rice, but I don't know. I'm thinking about just leaving the hatch open tonight, but I'm gonna turn it on. It's saying no card, and the battery's almost dead, so we'll put another battery in there. Go grab the cards. These are the cards here, C1 and C2. This is riveting footage, Mike, by the way. We are so glad we tuned in. So I can preview all of my video and God, I haven't taken many pictures. Wow, that looks good actually. Middle of the frickin' day. Look at that. You can't see it. Wow. Holy crap. The lighting was awful. It was overcast. But the color looks really good in the shot, man. I haven't taken many pictures since I've been here. Like none. Oh, waterfall stuff. Oh, I got a ton of waterfall stuff. In the room, haven't done that much. So here's the question. Will it take a picture? This is a bad one, but let me crank up the ISO here. Camera air. Uh-oh. Not good. By the way, it's a bunch of kids screaming. I saw them outside. They said, do you know where the dumpster's at? And they were 4 like teenagers running around. They're screaming upstairs. So, yeah. Camera air. Okay. We did what we could. I must say I'm not very happy right now. Pretty sad. All right, I'm gonna clean this up a bit. And there's some rice inside here. Somewhere. I'm gonna send this in for repair. They're gonna go, what the fuck did you do to this thing? Very sad day. I'll see you in the morning. It's bound to get better. I'm driving in snow and possibly ice. This should be good.
Just a quick close here with some images that I captured of the place I was staying at. I love the style here. Love the design, love the colors, and figured I'd share it. Again, this is a place I could never afford to stay at in high season. But I was here in the winter. Outside of the loud kids above me, I think I was the only one there. To be honest with you, I stayed in this area because I heard there was going to be northern lights. or the possibility of northern lights tonight, or on this particular night, and there weren't, so I made this image as a replacement. Yeah, I made a lot of images on this one, especially for that mill, because, well, this was the lighting that I had. But I envisioned it with some, I don't know, like a Thomas Kincaid look. Not to be confused with Reuben Kincaid, by the way. The world's worst band manager from the Partridge Family. Remember that? And again, it's a little fantasy world I figured I'd take you out to as I stretch this video up to the 30-minute mark. Next video, I believe, is going to be me ice fishing with my brother up in Michigan. And that one has a backstory that I'm going to have to put together, so bear with me on that one. It's going to take a little while to craft together. Again, I'll see you on the next one. I really do appreciate you being here. Have an awesome week.